Well, what do we have here? Trump getting some trade deals done? What do we have here? Got a Bell the Ranch video here. Automakers rolling over Trump's trade deal. I believe this is the one he has secured with the Japanese. Let's take a look.
Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Belle again.
Hi, Bell.
So today, we're going to talk about Trump getting rolled by Japan. Trump finally got a trade deal, and the releases were massive. But trade deals are about details, and the details say that Trump either got played by Japanese negotiators, he truly doesn't understand how tariffs work, or he has given up on helping American auto companies.
My inclination is that he does not understand how tariffs work. That's my guess, personally. Or he doesn't give a fuck about Americans. One of the two.
Japanese cars and car parts will face a 15% tariff. Previously, it was around 27.5%. American companies assembling in Canada and Mexico will face a higher tariff than Japan. The American Automotive Policy Council.
Okay, so Japanese auto parts, so it's cheaper to import from there. Okay, so it's cheaper to import auto parts from there, but not really, because again, the price is still going to be always furloughed onto the consumer because it's what happens every fucking time. Because again, Trump still does not understand how a fucking goddamn tariff works because he's an idiot. He's an idiot who doesn't understand how tariffs work. I don't know how many times I have to fucking constantly explain this. It's not a video game where you do the tariff and then you start making money from it. It's not like Civilization or whatever. The tariff is a tax on goods that are coming in from that fucking country. So if you slap a 15% tax on those fucking auto parts that are coming in, the company that are ordering those parts have to pay 15% more because of the fucking tariff. That's how that works. Pretty simple. So then you may be wondering, Daho, how does this get furloughed onto the consumer? A wonderful question, hypothetical fucking viewer. It's pretty fucking simple, right? Instead of, making up for the fucking lost profits that the company is going to suffer as a result of that fucking tariff, having to pay more for those parts, what they are going to do is be like, okay, well, we're going to have to hike up prices on our vehicles to make up for lost profits because we live in a profit-driven society. So of course that's going to fucking happen because that's what happens every fucking time. Silly.
Represents American companies like Ford, General Motors, and Stellantis. President of the AAPC, Matt Blunt, spoke bluntly. Quote, American automakers still need to review the details of the U.S.-Japan agreement. But any deal that charges a lower tariff for Japanese imports with virtually no U.S. content than it does North American-built vehicles with high U.S. content is a bad deal for the U.S. industry and U.S. auto workers. Dropping the Japanese...
Damn, it's almost as if Trump just doing forehead tariffs to try to bring back U.S. auto manufacturing and try to make the U.S. become a manufacturing hub again for some fucking reason, despite the fact that it's basically he just has like this strange idealized world in his fucking head that he thinks like we're gonna harken back to those times and it's gonna be so great and so wonderful, despite the fact that the U.S. has transitioned from that state of economy for the past 40 fucking years, poorly, of course, obviously, with the express purpose of company profits in mind first rather than people in their mind first, because again, corporations have effectively bought the fucking U.S. government. Effectively, right? It is an oligarchy. Oh, just hearkening back to try to like forcibly make it return is going to cause more damage than fucking good. Who would have thought?
Tariffs comes after he did something similar with the tariffs impacting mainly English luxury brands like Bentley and Rolls and so on. Those tariffs dropped to 10%. Blunt explained that the American auto industry was worried Trump was making mistakes. Quote, We said then we didn't want that to become the precedent for other trade deals. Trump seems to think the deal will open Japan to U.S. cars. However, there are technical non-tariff barriers like certification procedures, limited dealerships, and the fact that U.S. cars aren't generally sought by Japanese buyers.
Whoa! The same thing with the Europeans. American regulations are dog shit. Japan, broadly speaking, similar to the EU, are not as fucking reliant on fucking vehicles because of the fact that they have better, more robust public transportation systems. So they don't have to rely on getting a fucking vehicle as much. it becomes a more luxury good that if you want to get it, if you have the fucking money, you can do that. Fuck it. Almost as if that's how it should have been treated from the beginning, but here we fucking are. Whoa, crazy. And they also, the Japanese don't want the fucking goddamn vehicles because they are bigger, they're worse made, they don't comply with the regulations that they're being sent to the fucking state, and whoa, people don't fucking want them because they'd rather have their own fucking local brands that are suitable for the current environment that they live in, which is fucking Japan. Yeah, time to buy, let us buy shittier from the US that don't meet our regulations. It's constant all the time. And that's a good point, Alex. By the way, these idiots need to phrase their complaints with tact. If they say Trump's deal is shit, then he won't care if it hurts them. Exactly. Because he's a fucking child who has a child's interpretation in mind for as to how this fucking shit works. He has no fucking idea what he's doing.
That are a bigger impediment to U.S. trade there. Or as Blunt said, quote, when we think about markets that present real opportunities for greater U.S. exports, I don't think Japan is often on that list. But I'm sure Trump knows more about the car trade than, the car industry. Meanwhile, in the United States, GM's net income took a 35% hit when compared to last year, or about $1.1 billion in the second quarter alone. Incidentally, GM warned this could happen because of Trump's tariffs long before, but Trump knows the industry better. Meanwhile, Stellantis.
He totally knows. Again, Belle is pretty much fucking hitting everything out of the park right now. She's saying all of the fucking goddamn correct fucking points. Because again, Trump's an idiot who thinks he knows better because he's a fucking dumbass narcissist.
That's the owner of Chrysler, Jeep, and Dodge. Expects a roughly $2.68 billion loss in the first half. Woof. A lot of financial advisors are wondering if Trump gave too much away in an effort to just get some kind of real trade deal closed.
Who wants to make a bet that this is going to possibly cause another fucking goddamn recession and Trump's just going to use that taxpayer money in order to bail out the fucking car companies? Who wants to make the bet? Happened in 2008. I'm making the bet. Who wants to make a bet? Bet? We betting? I'm betting 9-1 99 to 1 odds, dude. 99 to 1 odds that it's fucking happening. It's gonna be 2008 all over again. It's gonna be a complete fucking shit show. Good luck fucking finding any work if you're young. Get fucking owned by another potential great recession, you stupid dumbasses, because of the moron in chief or moron in office.
The only thing Trump can really point to is his investment fund, which doesn't seem to be quite the win it's being made out to be, and is surrounded by questions. But more on that later. Either way, epic. I think it's pretty clear why the UAW endorsed Harris at this point. America first for the auto industry seems to mean first to be hit with tariffs. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.
I will have a good day. I appreciate that, Belle. Thank you very much. What we have here. Did the U.S. or the EU emerge as the winner in the Trump trade deal? So this isn't the only trade deal that he's supposedly negotiated. Again, he's so... Maybe, I think the point that Belle was raising, that he's just incredibly desperate to try to get some kind of a fucking deal done, because every other fucking deal he's been trying to negotiate has been a complete fucking shit show disaster and has gone nowhere. So what do we have here? The new trade agreement between the United States and the European Union will lift tariffs on imports of goods from European countries to their highest level in decades and hurt the trading bloc's economic growth, according to experts. Damn. So he's just going to fucking just fuck over the EU instead of doing any goddamn cooperative effort. Fantastic. Because again, it's either going to be fucking over the US or fucking over the other people that he wants to goddamn make a trade deal with. Why is the EU going with this? I don't know. Maybe they're desperate enough or they're just completely cucked. My guess is that they're fucking cucked. It is asymmetric and unbalanced deal. Or it is an asymmetric and unbalanced deal, economists with investment bank Société Générale said in a report. The EU decided neither to retaliate nor increase its tariffs and is even expected to reduce them. The EU agreed to a bad deal rather than a risk trade war escalation. Pussies, they're cucked. Imagine fucking cucking yourself to the stupid, dumb fucking orange man who may not even fucking commit to this. Nah, what you have to do is you just have to remain resolute. Be like, okay, if you want to just keep raising fucking tariffs, fuck you. You can fuck right off, you dumbass. The average tariff on U.S. imports from the EU will surge from 1.2% in 2024 to 17.5%, according to investor advisory firm Capital Economics. That will reduce EU's annual gross domestic product by 0.2%, the investment advisory firm forecast. The EU countries annually ship more than $300 billion in goods to the U.S., according for more than 20% of total U.S. imports. Mexico ranks second amongst America's trade partners at roughly 15% of imports, while Canada accounts for 11%. The deal, announced Sunday by President Trump and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, imposes a 15% U.S. tariffs on most EU imports. Again, this is not going to fucking work out. Again, I don't know how many times this has to say. The EU fucking imports, right, that the U.S. fucking gets, because he thinks it's going to compensate for the fucking trade deficit, is only going to make it fucking worse because it's now going to furlough the fucking cost onto the fucking American consumer. It's fine for the U.S. to be able to spend money and have trade deficits. They have the strongest fucking economy in the world. It doesn't matter if they fucking have trade deficits with people. Their fucking currency is so ridiculously valuable. People are wondering, whoa, crazy. I wonder why the fucking US dollar is beginning to weaken and weaken and weaken. Oh, because of all these dumbass belligerent tariff ideas and bullshit that he keeps fucking going with. It's so fucking stupid. While American goods exported to the Union's 27 member countries will face no tariffs. It's just fucking capitulation. That's crazy to me. Previously, U.S. exports to the EU faced an average tariff of roughly 1%, according to Goldman Sachs analysts. Fucking 1%. It's so fucking goofy. The EU has also pledged to buy $750 billion worth of energy from the U.S., up from $80 billion a year, and invest $600 billion by 2028. The trade agreement will boost Americans by increasing access to the EU's vast market and supporting the U.S. manufacturing sector, according to the Trump administration. Yeah, except the tariffs are not going to fucking do that. I don't know why Ursula is just fucking, capitulating for no fucking reason. Again, the reason why the Europeans didn't really want many fucking American products is because they're unregulated and don't meet the European standards for their fucking regulatory sort of state. Because again, it turns out if you just keep deregulating further and further and further, eventually your products become undesirable in other fucking markets. Who would have thought? This colossal deal will enable U.S. farmers, ranchers, fishermen, and manufacturers to increase U.S. exports, expand business opportunities, and reduce the goods trade deficit with the European Union, the White House said on Monday in a fact sheet about the pact. Who wants to make a bet it's not going to fucking do any of that? Because again, Europeans don't want fucking American products because they know it is unregulated, fucking poorly kept dog shit. Crazy. The White House didn't immediately respond to a request for additional comment. Reducing uncertainty. Although the agreement sharply raises U.S. tariffs, economists said the deal will also help ease some of the uncertainty around trade relations with a key trading partner. Perhaps most important, it is better than the alternative, given that Mr. Trump has threatened to slap a 30% tariff on EU imports. Who even knows if he's going to fucking change from that? Because again, Mad King, he's just going to do random fucking bullshit. Because he's a fucking Mad King, and he's just going to keep doing random shit until, something happens or works out, or the economy crashes. Who the fuck knows? More broadly, the EU deal and the Trump administration's framework agreement with Japan last week, both of which set 15% as a baseline tariff, which Americans are going to have to fucking pay for, also helped pave the way for trade agreements with Canada, Korea, Mexico, and other countries, including on key sectors like autos, experts said. Compared to expectations we had a few weeks before, in particular when pharmaceuticals and semiconductors could have been subject to higher tariffs, it looks like this deal is better than feared. Michael Martinez, head Europe economist at Societe Generale, told CBS Money Watch. European auto exports would face a 15% levy, down from 25%, according to Goldman Sachs. Von der Leyen also said the United States would eliminate tariffs on some products, including aircrafts and parts. semiconductor manufacturing gear, natural resources, some farm products, and certain chemicals and generic drugs. Likewise, the EU would abolish tariffs on these products. Wait, so the US would eliminate tariffs on some products. So it's not a sort of general 15% levy. I don't know why they're going after European auto specifically. Again, no one... It's going to be really funny with all these like capitulations that these dumbasses are fucking doing, and no one in Europe is still going to fucking buy the goddamn fucking American vehicles because they're too big. People don't want them. They find their local fucking goddamn manufactured vehicles to be more reliable, and people just don't fucking want that shit. It's crazy because it's almost as if, whoa, America is just bad at fucking making cars. They don't make good cars. They're poor quality fucking dog shit due to all the deregulation that constantly happens to their fucking auto industry in order for it to try to stay fucking competitive. It's nonsense. Oh, 1000%, Alex. He is a fucking idiot. He conflates manufacturing to just making cars forehead, which is just, it's fucking stupid. He's trying to go back to some fucking idealized 1950s fucking economy that the US has moved on from for the, like, at this point from like 40 fucking years ago. But he doesn't want to fucking move on from there because he's an idiot. Neither the US nor the EU has released details of the pact. And lobbying by some of the industries is expected to continue. For example, Union Italiana Vini, an Italian trade group representing winemakers, sent in a statement on Monday that a 15% tariff on EU imports would result in a $371 million hit for exporters. We are calling on the Italian government and the EU to consider appropriate measures to safeguard a sector that has grown significantly thanks to U.S. buyers. Damn, it's almost as if, crazy, a lot of people in the U.S. like Italian wine. Guess what? Those same motherfuckers are going to have to pay more money for Italian wine. I wonder how the U.S. How people in the U.S. are going to feel about having to pay more for Italian wine. Because not everyone's going to want California wine. What? Because I guess like Californian wine industry is like suffering for some reason. I mean, it's suffering because of all the people that he's fucking trying to deport. Again, something that Trump himself fucking caused, said Lamberto Frescobaldi. Said in a statement, or that's what the group's president said, while acknowledging that the deal is at least resolved the uncertainty that was stalling the market. That's true. Again, markets, very well known for enjoying uncertainty. According to the group's analysis, a bottle of Italian wine that previously retailed for $11.50 in the U.S. will now cost nearly $15 under the new tariff agreement. Guess who's having to pay that $15? Oh, the customer. Trump, you have some explaining to do. I thought you were going to make things more affordable for the average American. What's going on here? What happened? Stupid. The German Association of the Automotive Industry, or the VDA, which represents German automakers, also said a 15% U.S. tariff on the country's automotive products will hurt its car manufacturers, while noting that the new tariff rate amounts to a reprieve from the 25% automobile levies EU nations have faced since April. Wayne Weingarten, an economist at the Pacific Research Institute, a think tank that supports free market policies, expects the US-EU deal to raise prices for consumers and lower corporate profits. Wow, it's almost as if doing these blanket tariffs is just really dumb and stupid. But does Trump know about any of that? No, because he's a fucking idiot. Going forward, we are going to start to see these impacts either through lower profitability for corporations and higher costs for consumers, and most likely a combination of the two, he told CBS Money Watch. Despite the Trump administration's recent trade deals with the EU, Japan, UK, and several other Asian countries, the US still faces a self-imposed August 1st deadline to reach agreements with Canada, Mexico, Korea, and other trading partners. So that's cool. That's great that this is, raising prices on the consumers that Trump fucking promised he was going to lower. Like, quite literally. Here's the funniest thing about this. What is it? Charmin price increase. Trump, you got some explaining to do, buddy. Not only will your kids get only $2 and a few pencils, they will have a lot less toilet tissue and detergent to wash their clothes. Interesting. The maker of Tide and Charmin said it will raise prices in part because of tariffs. Trump, what's going on here? Why are these prices going up? For average fucking goods. Oh, the tariffs were a complete fucking disaster? Oh, P&G is also reporting weakest sales growth since 2018? Plans layoffs and price increases? What's going on? Procter & Gamble, who also make Dawn dish soap, and a lot of other fucking cleaning products, average fucking goddamn sort of products that Americans need in order to be able to live a fucking normal life. Oh, it's almost as if these fucking tariffs were never going to fucking work to begin with. And all this fucking stupid, idiotic, unstable market belligerence bullshit is exactly what it is. It's just meant to fucking raise prices and make your fucking life worse. And almost as if Trump has no fucking idea what he is doing in terms of fucking economic policy. It's fucking ridiculous and fucking stupid. That, guess what? The American people have to fucking suffer simply due to the fact that there's a mad king in power who barely understands how the fucking economy works because he thinks it's all a fucking video game and you instantaneously start making money when you fucking impose tariffs on people, when in fact that's just not how that fucking works. It is stupid and fucking ridiculous. And guess what? You, the average consumer, are going to have to fucking pay more as a result. So, so much for fucking lowering all those prices that you promised you would lower, Trump. What happened? What happened? Complete fucking nonsense. Don't think there's really much else to say besides that.